What's up, y'all? I'm back at it again with another video, and today we're gonna do something a little different because I hear a lot of internet buzz, and I'm here to set the record straight. Today we're going to talk about the show Love and Hip Hop Miami, and the only reason I'm doing this is because this dates back to when reality TV kind of first jumped off. So once upon a time, but not long ago, there was this show called Flavor of Love, and I'm talking about Flavor of Love Season 2. They were friends. They were Buckeey and Bootz, but I'm gonna call them by their real names. It's Shay and Larissa. Now, they have a lot of history together, and they're finally about to meet up after like 15, maybe even 20 years at this point.
Bridges, they rise from the ashes.
We was on Flavor of Love together. Her name was Buckeey, mine was Boo. What up, Buckeey?
Now, when I say 20 years, I mean 20 years in the TV business. Like, this is the first time we're going to see them on TV again in 20 years together. But I'm basically recapping. They were on Flavor of Love 2. They became cool. Then they went and did another show like the next year called Charm School. Charm School is where they fell out. They got caught stealing. They stole like another contestant's picture. But then when they were confronted about it, basically they said they didn't do it, but we all knew they did. But when it came down to it and actually confessing, it was like one blamed one. The other then went and said, oh no, the other person did this, and that. It just came down to basically like a whole big lie. So now at this point, they are no longer friends. Talking about, well, you was cool, but it wasn't like that. Now we know damn well y'all was thicker than thieves. But Tom Hill's all wounds, they became friends again, but then fell out. Then became friends again, then fell out. Friends again, and fell out. I think you get the pattern at this point. So the reason that I'm really here today is to tell y'all the truth about why they're really beefing. Because I'm thinking in my mind, it can't be over no picture from 20 years ago. It really cannot. That's just petty. And what did y'all learn in Charm School? Not like y'all was going to take anything with y'all, but let's get into it. So actually, when Zeus had started, it was this show called The Conversation, where people that didn't like each other or had issues would get together, and they were supposed to talk about it, to hash it out and to move on. Now, this was something that was brought up. So I guess back in 2019, it was rumored they were supposed to do this show. This is where my detective skills started to come in. Because I'm saying, well, why are y'all doing The Conversation? It gotta only be if you have an issue with each other. So this is where I sat and looked at countless interviews and went over everything that's been happening. Now, I will tell you this. I did run into a lot of roadblocks. But here goes that clip.
Is there a possibility that you two can ever reconcile? And if
No.
so, what would have to happen?
Never.
Okay.
And I will tell you why.
Okay.
We have had mutual friends try to put us together. And when I told them why not, some understood, because I don't play with my kids. She has been around my children when they were very little, and my ex-husband. And she has publicly said nice things about my kids and my husband when I'm around. And we got into we were like sisters. We got into a little spat. And I had no clue she had an issue with me, but we have each other's number. She had just left my home. We got into it on Twitter at the time. It was Twitter. I called her. She hung up in my face, but then was on Twitter talking shit. So I talked my shit and I told her that's weak as fuck. That's cowardly. You know what I'm saying? Because you just want, back then it wasn't called clout, but it was more so like, let's get this online, Because she tried to hang up like a coward. Make a long story short, I was telling her about this hating ass bitch from back in the day, not from the show, that knew of me and she wanted to be me. And I told her about the girl. You know how you tell your friends. And back then, now people know people that stalk them. They'll put them on blast. Back then, this is new to us. But I was telling her she's making fake pages of my kid. So after, make a long story short, when me and her fall out, she goes and follows this page that is talking shit about my daughter. Then she goes she follows the page knowing what I told her. And I said, ever since then, I'll never fuck with that bitch. Never. You fuck with my kids, bitch. I don't give a fuck. First of all, I don't give a fuck what me and any of these girls go through. I will never talk about their children.
Mhm.
Only time I've talked about somebody's kids is when they talked about my family.
Mhm.
That was Lhhmiami. And you know, a lot of people, we gonna get to that though, but a lot of people will say, well, you talked about Lhhmiami. No, bitch, I talked about her kids when she talked about my mother. I didn't have kids, so she couldn't talk about my kids. You get what I mean? So
Mhm.
she tried to talk about my family, and the only thing I knew of her was her kids and how she didn't take care of them. So I can say what the fuck I want when you start crossing boundaries. So, you know, a lot of people will say, oh, you did this. No, bitch, I did it for a reason because she talked about, people forget that. You know, they want to
Mhm.
ignore that because I've overpowered her ass. But going back to Buckeey, yeah, I would never fuck with her because you don't talk about nobody kids. One of my friends ended up going at it with her that she met through me. And then
Mhm.
she tried to unfollow the page. And she told my friend, this is what my friend told me, that she said, you know, Larissa and me and like sisters, we fight. Nah, bitch, you coming in doing some funny shit like that. When you know, it was like a hate page towards me, but the girl had put up pictures of my child and was saying weird shit.
Mhm.
So when Shay's following that page, when I already told her what the girl was doing, she's seen this page before. I showed it to her. So for you to do that and thought that was cute and that has to do with my child, I will never fuck with you again. I will never. And a lot of people will point out things that's going on with her and her child to me, and I don't want to hear it. But they'll say it's karma, and I say I don't look at it because I don't boast in other people's kids or whatever. But from what I hear, she's getting karma anyway for that.
Oh my
You know,
God.
talking about people's kids.
Oh my God.
So
Okay.
yeah, that's the only reason. If it had nothing to do with my child, we probably could. But I feel that's very evil. And it wasn't even nothing serious like that. But bitch, you playing with my kids, you playing with me. This is like that. You don't do shit like that, especially when you met my kids. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? You've been around my kids. You've been in my home, stuff like that. I don't like shit like that. But she always been a jealous bitch anyway.
Oh my God.
Matter of fact, let's spill some more tea
Oh
because
my
I'm
God.
just in the mood. The reason why, because you know, a lot of people talk shit, but I'm gonna tell you why I say she's jealous, because she is. There are facts.
Thank y'all for tuning in for another video, and I shall see you in the next one.